So to solve the problem as it relates to what's the best deal for you as relates to the timing of the collection of your graduation gift from your grandmother, we need to keep in mind our basic process. Read the problem twice, write down everything we know, and then the purpose of this one specifically, as I had designed it, was for the timeline. Because I think once you lay the timeline out for this, it will make a lot more sense for you. Okay? So let's go ahead and build three different timelines. I'm going to move to the board so hopefully my volume will still be caught. And let's think now about the three different opportunities that are presented to collect this payment. Actually, not payment. Shouldn't use that term, but it will be a future value. So in the first case, she's offered you $1,000 upon your graduation, which would mean you could get $1,000 in the 2 years from now that you plan to graduate at a rate of 6%. But in your negotiations with her, you said, I don't really want to wait, and so you would like to, instead of waiting that 2 years, get the money from her right now, in which case she's offered you $900. Conversely, testing your knowledge of finance, she said, what if instead of me giving it to you when you graduate, you wait 3 more years and then I'll give you $1,300. So those are the three different options. In addition to building the timeline, the other key skill that I wanted you to start thinking about is thinking in present value terms. We have one thing here that occurs in the present. We have two other things here that occur in the future. If we wanted to, we could try to figure out everything in year 2, or we could try to figure out everything in year 5. But there's so much uncertainty with the future, it's always easier and preferable to think about the present. So now let's go ahead. So let's go ahead and key in our standard 5 variables: present value, future value, payment, rate, and time. Let's think of them as having 3 different opportunities. You have your now opportunity, you have your graduation opportunity, and you have your graduation plus 2-year opportunity. We saw that if you waited until graduation, you would get $1,000, or if you waited beyond graduation, you would get $1,300. In each cases, there were no payments. The rate is 6% for all of these cases. And the big difference is also periods. There is no time period for now. Graduation's expected in 2 years. Or you could wait 3 more years. I think I labeled that wrong up top, didn't I? Yeah, so that should be 5 altogether. It's not graduation plus 2, it's graduation plus 3. Or you could just get paid $900 right now. So let's go ahead then and, using the functionality in Excel, figure out which of those makes the most sense. Let's do it by comparing our present values. So we know that $900 right now is worth $900 right now. I keyed in as a negative just because the other 2 values are going to come out as negatives too. There's part of present valuation that requires some absolute value thinking because of the way Excel does it. Right? Excel says if you're going to get, you have to give to get. So just keep that in mind. But now let's wire in our present value. So at a rate of 6%, 2 years away with no payment and a future value of $1,000, that's worth $890 to me right now. If I just simply copy and paste that same formula over, And then I check and see, aha, it properly updated the fact that D10 now is my rate still 6%. D11 is now 5 years away. D9 represents the $1,300. And then we don't have to worry about payment. And the answer then, what would actually be the best for you? The way that we've thought about it again is worth. A question of worth or value is really answering how much would I be willing to give today? So what this shows us is, would you give $900 today to get $900 today? Sure, doesn't hurt you at all. You would be willing to give $890 today for the right to get $1,000 in 2 years if the interest rate was 6%. And you'd be willing to give $971 today for the right to get $1,300 in 5 years at a rate of 6%. So in this case, actually your best option is to wait till beyond graduation.